Living in modernized society, we consume a lot of products, and we generate a ridiculous amount of garbage. We also live in a time where the condition of our planet is so polluted and susceptible that we need to worry if there's enough of it left for us to live off of. It is time that we ask ourselves, the creators of the pollution, if there's anything that we can do personally to decrease the amount we create. Over the last 30 years, the EPA has collected data to help us visualize how much garbage there is. And we currently are at an all-time high with 250 million tons produced annually. When you break it down, that totals 4.4 pounds per person per day, and only 1.5 pounds of that gets recycled. They go a little further and break it down into more feasible categories. And one specifically that stands out to me is that 30% of our garbage comes from containers and packaging. Yes, that means 1/3 of our waste annually comes from simply overwrapping the product before consumption. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency has done a really great job of helping us visualize this part of the waste stream. They had a bottle biology exhibit at the state fair, and here they found out that every 5 minutes in Minnesota, nearly 14,000 plastic beverage containers are purchased. And when you add that all up, you can actually build a wall out of them that is 15 feet high and stretches 70 feet long. And that is just what they did. And in Minnesota, only 25% of those bottles actually made it to the recycling center. So only 3,500 out of 14,000 were removed from the stream. But what does this all mean, and why should we care? We should care because everything that doesn't end up in the landfill or in the recycling ends up outside in the environment where it degrades natural habitats, making them unsuitable for living. These products leach hormone disruptors and other toxic chemicals. Eventually, many of them end up out in the ocean, where there's a phenomenon that we call the Great Garbage Patch. The ocean will form these gyres where it literally traps the garbage. It gets broken down into little bits, and these little bits of plastic won't degrade any further. They just remain suspended in the water, where they can block out sunlight and be ingested by marine life. The animals that ingest these do not have the ability to digest the synthetic chemicals. We can also not neglect the impact of actually making and transporting products. Everything does come with a cost, both monetarily and environmentally, from mining and manufacturing to the shipping of the product to the store where it is sold to you, where it ends up in your hands and for what you choose to do with it after that. That's right, for what you choose to do with it. You have the choice of what happens with that product and if it is even used at all. See if you can make the impact on the stream. You can choose to do simple things like just don't be a litter bug, or make sure it gets into the right bin, whether that's recycling, trash, or compost. Composting is a great thing to do because you can reduce your household waste by 25% and turn that waste into a renewable resource. It actually makes a nutrient-rich fertilizer and a great biopesticide. You can also upcycle and recycle products. Websites like Craftster and Pinterest have many ideas for you to reuse items before you throw it away. One other way to upcycle your trash is through companies like TerraCycle. They'll take your donations and make them into usable products. Some items you might have seen around are reusable tote bags made out of Capri Sun pouches, or they're fertilizers. The neat thing about this company is they take so much out of the cycle that they have a negative carbon footprint. The other solution is, of course, the easiest and the hardest. This is just simply don't use these items. Don't use things that you need to throw away or discard. Yes, this is a challenge, but this is where your purchasing decision comes in. You can change your daily habits and the way you live and reduce the need to throw things away completely. Of course, the hardest thing I've noticed is understanding where we fit in. I have a challenge for you to see how much waste that you create. How much do you think if you collected your garbage for a week, what it would look like? Would it pile up neatly in the corner, or will it overflow into the hallway? And imagine that over a month, a year. It grows sizably, and you add in different factors like pets, family, or that occasional party. It really does add up. So I want you to find out how much that you actually do create. Collect your garbage just for a week and separate it into categories so you know whether they're recyclables, product packaging, organics, or things that are just garbage. Are there anything that you notice that is in common, patterns you see? Are there things that you just don't need to use, or are any of them really a necessity? Can you cut the amount that you generate in half? See if you can take that next step. Yes, these all seem like really small things, but they do add up and make a difference in the overall impact and health of the communities that we live in.